And then I ran a facility in Owego, New York. We had about $15 million as an investment fund, and we spent $12 million of that pursuing a program in the UK called Merlin. And the program was worth $5.5 billion, fixed price. And so we won the contract, and we delivered all 45 aircraft and weapon systems on time. And I learned a lot from that, so I'm going to talk a little bit about my experience of managing that fixed price $5.5 billion contract. And along the way, as Hitendra said, I worked for 4 companies, but not on purpose. I worked for IBM, and when Gershner came on board, he sold the Federal Systems Division to Loral. Loral became a $9.5 billion corporation. They sold themselves to Lockheed Martin. I turned around and came back from England, and they told me they were going to sell the entire electronics business, and they were going to make me the president, and BAE Systems bought my electronics business for $1.9 billion. And so I worked for 4 companies, but not on purpose. It wasn't like I was looking for a job. And then the last part of my life, the last 2 or 3 years, I've been working a lot with nonprofits. I do have some clients that are paying clients, but mostly I've been trying to give back in my own way to people who sort of can make a difference in the community. So the teachable point of view on leadership gives you 3 views. It gives you views on ideas. So, for instance, one of the ideas, I'm not going to read them all to you, one of the ideas would be focus on operating the enterprise within 10 macro priorities. Human mind can't probably handle more than 6. They definitely can't handle 50, right? So if somebody walks into your office and says, here are my 50 priorities, you sort of know that they really don't have any priorities. So I typically kind of sort of say, if you're running a big business or you're running a big project, you got to write it down on one piece of paper. What are the strategic objectives that govern the enterprise for the next 4 or 5 years? I did that for Merlin. On the very first day I arrived there as a CEO, I wrote down 10 things that I wanted the management team to do for the next 5 or 6 years, and that we would stay the course. And always keep sight of those values that were important to the project. Be yourself, operate to your strengths. That's an interesting idea. It could be a value, but it's an interesting idea. Don't emulate people. Emulation doesn't work because it may not be the suit of clothes you can wear. And secondly, don't ever let anybody ever talk you into a job to help you build strengths against your weaknesses. I would guarantee you 90% of the time you fail. You have to go into jobs where you have strengths, not weaknesses. And so those are some of the kind of quote ideas. Things like, don't let others shut you out, draw them in into your circle. So the concept of inclusion. When you talk about value, it's elements like enterprise before self. And you can't tolerate minority agendas. You sort of have to deal with the good of the majority. You want to deal with fact-based reality and analysis. You want to have empathy for others, but you have to be fair. You have to always have a sense of urgency, and I'll talk about that in a minute. A lot of people feel that action and motion is progress. That's not progress. And you always have to kind of think about the thought process of producing results. So you measure people on the results they produce, not the motion they're capable of. And then when you get to emotional energy and edge is the kind of operative word, you have to care about people, but you have to hold them accountable for results. And I would sort of say I learned this very early in my career. Don't tolerate incompetence. One bad apple in that whole barrel will spoil the whole barrel. So you can't tolerate incompetence. It will degrade the whole enterprise. In some ways, there's one other interesting one here. Take charge, not control. Take charge of your destiny. And that's sort of the 10 objectives you start with. so that you know that there's a path and a vision for whatever project or enterprise that you're running. And then the last thing I kind of say is, love life. I don't know about balance, because it's very difficult to have balance. One of the jobs I had to take in England, I went without my family for 6 years. And I had 2 kids and a wife in New York, and I lived in England for 6 years by myself. That was pretty tough. But we still learned to love life. I mean, they came over for the summer. We had summer vacations in Europe. We did things together as much as we could in a family. But you have to have life. It's great, and can cherish all its rewards and sorrows. So this teachable point of view comes with ideas, values, this emotional energy, and edge. And I was going to try to read all these to you, but it gives you the concept of what it tries to do. It got this out of the process got this out of me in terms of realizing how I felt about